All right. Hey, there we are. Sweet.
Hello.
Hello. Hello. Hello. Hello. Welcome to Talking Heads, everyone. Episode 322, your once-weekly live show for the latest in beer and tech news. I'm Jeff.
And I'm Steve.
Welcome to the show, everyone. Thank you all so much for joining on this Wednesday night or in podcast form over on Anchor.fm or wherever your favorite podcasts are found. If you've never seen the show before, we talk beer, we talk tech, we talk games, pop culture, entertainment, sometimes some Star Trek. All super chats are right in the air so long as they will not permanently demonetize a channel, but an even better way to help support the channel would be to go on over to craftcomputing.store, pick up one of our fantastic nucleated pint glasses available in a number of different varieties. We've got coasters, we've got whiskey stones, and start drinking like a pro. Last but not least, if you'd like to take part in the super secret chat and the even more super secret after party, think about joining the Patreon. Link is down in the video description. As a bonus, you'll get exclusive access to my Discord server where you can chat with myself, John, Rhett, Steve, all the hosts from Talking Heads, and join the awesome community that hangs out over there.
See, the nice thing about being born ethnically Russian is I was born drinking like a pro. It's like, right. I'm already there. I'm already there.
The rest of us are just catching up to you.
You're just catching up.
Going on.
Yeah, that's all it is. Yeah.
Yes. I mean, it is my lifelong goal to be able to drink like you and John, to be perfectly honest with you.
I don't know. Not when you get older. It starts to, there's a little bit starts chipping away. Can't do it like I used to anymore.
Yeah. Suddenly I have the advantage.
Yeah, I know. You do now.
Oh, it's going to be a good show. We've got some unannounced changes, which kind of were forced into an announcement by Unraid.
Yep.
Walmart is buying up another company. The world's first microcomputer was found in a closet by some cleaners. And the Switch 2 has been delayed until 2025, much to the ire of just about everyone, not just shareholders.
Yeah.
But let's go ahead and start this show the way we start every show, the way I like to start. Well, I can't say every day because that has a certain stigma with it, but good way to start a show. What are we drinking tonight? Steve, what do you got lined up?
I have two that I'm pretty excited about. Now, normally we have like IPAs, and I always want I like IPAs. Don't get me wrong, but sometimes I crave something different, something a little more maltier, like a good barley wine or something like that. But this I found a Belgian strong called. You
got my attention.
Yes, it's called. A-M-A-I. No. It's by Drownlands. So it's a Belgian strong 10%. So
I have not heard of that brewery.
I have had one of their beers. They're from New York, so not surprised that you haven't heard of them. But yeah, 10.8. I know it's above a 4 on Untapped. So I'm really looking forward to that one. I love a good Belgian, and it's hard for me to find them around here.
Yeah.
So I'm excited about this one.
I don't know if you've been watching me the last couple of weeks. I've been kind of on like a German-Belgian kind of kick lately.
I did notice.
My mouth started watering. Just you said Belgian strong, and I went, I picked wrong tonight.
And this next one, is an IPA, and I got this, even though it was kind of sick IPAs, I had to get this one because we talk about sticky hands all the time, right? Because we like sticky hands. Yeah. But this is a new variant of sticky hands.
Oh.
So we have Block 15 Sticky Hands Marmalade.
Marmalade,
yes. Marmalade, let me see. There we go.
Interesting.
Yes. So I tried looking up why they call it marmalade. I don't think they add any orange to it, but I think it's about the hop combinations they put in there.
Yeah.
So it might give it more of an orange flavor, is what I'm guessing.
Yeah, oftentimes a lot of flavored beers, like especially IPAs, they're not actually fruit backed. They use the citrus to the citrus flavors of hops to their advantage to slant it one way or the other.
Yeah.
So a blood orange IPA doesn't necessarily have blood orange in it. It's just marmalade.
Yeah, that's what it says, marmalade. So I am, and I think it just came out because like
I've never seen that.
when I went to the store, they were like just up front, just fresh right there. So I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, okay. So yeah, and it's 8.1%. On Untapped, they don't have as many check-ins. That's another reason why I think it's fairly new. There's not that many check-ins for it.
Yeah.
But it's rated higher than regular sticky hands.
Nice.
So I'm expecting this to be a really good one too.
Cool. Yeah, no, that sounds really interesting. You've got a good lineup tonight.
Yeah.
Like I thought I brought some interesting stuff, but no, I think you got me beat. So I do have an IPA. I can't remember if I drank this one on the live show or if I just did a video with it. I know I've done a video recently with it. But Freem, I've got one of their extra pails.
Oh yes,
which is fantastic. 8.5%.
Freem is great.
This is such a good beer. I know this has been out before, but it's the first time I've seen it not in a 12-pack or specifically as a bomber, and that is Widmer Brothers.
Oh.
Their Imperial Hef.
Oh, wow.
I found a 6-pack of it.
Interesting.
Right.
I have not had a Widmer Hef because I have a little bit of beef with Widmer Hef. Because it tastes nothing like a normal Hefeweizen. And now they call it, I know they call it American Hefeweizen. That's fine.
There's even more to that.
Yeah. But it tastes nothing like a traditional Hefeweizen. I mean, I would feel bad for some, German guy coming over and is like, "Oh, was ist Hefeweizen hier?
Das ist not a Hefeweizen.
This is not a Hefeweizen."
Right. Yeah.
Nein.
Das ist nicht ein Hefeweizen. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. We'll start the show here. We'll start it right here. I'm going to go ahead and open this one first.
Okay.
So Widmer Brothers, technically, the pronunciation of this is Imperial Hefe.
Hefe.
Because I think when Widmer Brothers Brewing decided to start making a German-style beer, they went, you know what? We kind of like these Hefeweizens. They didn't know how to say it. And so they called it the Widmer Brothers Hefe. When they were later corrected, it's Hefeweizen, or a Hef is what people call it. They're like, no. We made it. We wanted it to be Hefe because this is the American Hefeweizen. No, you're just stupid. Stop it. And so I think it's like they pronounced it incorrectly and then doubled down, and they've doubled down to the point
it's too
they're
late.
gaslighting you into thinking it's supposed to be pronounced Hefe.
Yeah.
That's how they say it. That's the official pronunciation of this beer is Hefe. No, it's stupid. Don't.
Yeah, I know. Just like people calling it jalapenos or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Jalapenos.
Do you have any more tortillas?
Yeah.
What is a quesadilla?
Quesadilla. Or kind of like, what was it? Heady Topper. Heady Topper being like one of the most famous grandfather of all hazy beers.
Yeah.
They kept telling you to drink it from the can because it tastes better.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't taste better. You just didn't want it to see like it was cloudy.
Right.
That's all the reason why they did that.
Yeah.
But they still insist, no, you got to drink it from the can. It's going to taste better.
Right.
It doesn't taste any better from the can. It's just
no, it was just off-putting in 2011 to get a cloudy beer.
Yeah, exactly.
So yes, Widmer Brothers Imperial Hefe. I believe this is 9%.
Oh yeah, Imperial definitely.
Yeah. Whereas their standard one, I think, is a 5.4, maybe even a 5.0. So it's a boozy version of their beer.
Okay. Well, if you're going German, I'm gonna go Belgian. Ooh. Oh, this smells so malty. Look at it's so dark.
Rev says, "I'll take a chinchilla." While we're opening our beers, we'll get a couple of shout outs here. Eric, or Ursi78, raises whiskey glass. Cheers, my friend. Let's say William sends over a good day, y'all. Hello. Chad says drinking water tonight because it's patch night at work. Yes, definitely drink water. I do not advise. Yeah. I do not advise drinking and patching. That is not a good combination. Rev chiming in with an Nkasi Megalodon triple IPA, local favorite, 10%. That is such a good beer.
I noticed that they changed their branding on that. They switched up.
Nkasi has changed their entire can art style.
Yeah.
And I'm really disappointed with.
I know, me too. I like the dinosaurs. I like the nasty metal, death metal looking dinosaurs that they had on there.
Yeah,
I thought it looked cool.
They keep the beer names, and so if you look at, but they're going with like style and then name in their can art now, and so their triple IPA is now Megalodon, whereas before it was like this heavy metal, prehistoric shark, and wrapped around the can, and it was badass. Their winter ale was Slayer in the theme of Slayer.
Oh yeah,
and
it had the Slayer logo.
Yeah, it had the Slayer logo, and this heavy metal, Santa's sleigh and whatever else. Now it's just winter ale. It's so terrible. I know who signed off on this, because
why they went minimalist. I don't know. Their other cans were so awesome.
Their branding is so iconic, especially for the West Coast, that going minimalist completely kills it from anything you'd ever see on the store shelves. But what do I know? I'm not in marketing. Oh wait, I freaking am.
It could be that their sales were dwindling. They go, we gotta do something.
Yeah,
let's change it up to make it look like it's a new beer or something like that. I don't know. So they went the complete opposite of what they had it before.
Yeah,
I don't know. But no, I miss the dinosaurs too.
Yep, not a fan.
I want them back.
Yep. Let's see. Koala's drinking a Founder's Breakfast Stout.
Nice.
That's always an excellent one. Is it just me? Crappy Aussie internet, or has the video froze? I don't think the video froze.
I don't think so.
Looks like we're all good. I think it's just your crappy Aussie internet. Sorry. Let's see. Jason's drinking a coffee right now. Beer in a bit. Check in when you get your beer. Although coffee is excellent too. Oft Infinity's drinking a Dragon's Milk. Always a fan favorite around here. John Jay's got a triple mosaic Daydream by Other Half Brewing. Triple New England IPA hazy with a rating of 4.4 out of 5 on Untapped. As Nicolas Cage would say, that's high praise.
That's high praise.
Novella's got a Grey Sail Brewing Captain's Daughter double IPA, 8.5%.
The Captain's Daughter, huh?
Yeah, Captain's Daughter. Excellent. Got some good stuff.
Oh, there's somebody, Kaiju Koda? It's got a Cali Cream and Peaches and Cream.
Oh, I missed that.
Which, Cali Creamin' is an excellent, just the default Cali Creamin' is an excellent beer. It's the one that actually, when you conjure up the image of a cream beer, you think of like almost like a cream soda. When the Cali Creamin' actually tastes like that. It's the closest you get to like a cream soda beer hybrid. And we did that one time when we were at CES. We found the Cali Cream and Orange, which was excellent, but I had never seen a Cali Cream and Peaches and Cream. I would like to find one of those too.
Yeah, as Rev says, what? There's a Peaches and Cream?
I know. Like, I gotta find one of those because Cali Cream is one of my favorites.
I'm gonna go Widmer Brothers, Portland area brewery. This is not even a hef. This is not even a Hifa. This is not their beer.
Does it taste different?
This is so totally removed from that. It's weird.
Is it really?
It's really hoppy.
I haven't had a hef in a long time. Widmer hef or Hifa.
It's
been in a long time, so
it's been at least a couple of years since I've had a Widmer hef. Typically, if I go, I will say even at larger events anymore, like sporting events and concerts and whatnot. The craft beer scene is much improved than it was even 4 years ago, where a lot of the breweries, you'll on top of, we've got Budweiser and we've got Miller and we've got Bud Light, you'll also see a 10 barrel there with an Apocalypse, and you see a Sierra Nevada there with at least a pale. And it's like, oh, cool, I can have one of those. Before even that happened, Widmer was kind of like the craft beer that always showed up everywhere. Was you can get a Bud or a Bud Light or a Miller or a Coors or a Widmer Hef.
Yep.
And so I'd go to an event and I'd get a Widmer Hef.
Widmer Hef, yeah, me too.
It's been a couple of years since I've had one, but I've had a million of them, and so I know what they taste like. This is wildly different.
Is it? You would think being an Imperial, it would be more malty, but you're saying it's more hoppy.
It's hoppier. It's weird. Yeah. Even the Widmer Hef has a little bit of that clove flavor.
It does, like a little bit.
Just a touch, just enough to let you know it's there and let you know it's definitely German inspired. This is like Sierra Nevada made a Widmer, or tried a Hef.
So they up the hoppiness.
It's way hoppier. Way hoppier. And it finishes very sour and bitter. Instead of warm and malty and sweet.
Right. Much like my beer is warm and malty and sweet at the end. It's very good. It's like malt candy, man. This stuff is really good.
Yeah, this is weird. I don't know that I even like it. It's so weird.
Well, the nice thing about it is your fridge is just right there. You could switch it up if you want to.
I could, and I do have a backup here on the table in front of me. So I think I'm gonna drink this. I think it's okay.
Okay.
If I had to rate it, like let's go full Untapped here. I see Imperial Hef, and you and I rate beers the same way. I see Hefeweizen. I don't taste Hefeweizen.
I don't taste Hefeweizen. Yeah.
I started a 3 and I go down from there.
Yeah.
And I started a 3 if I really like the beer, but you didn't include anything that's on the can. I'm starting this at a 2.75, and then I'm deducting points from there. So, bitter finish on a Hef? No, that's another 0.25 off. Ooh, way hoppy? That's another 0.2. Like I'm at a 2.25.
Yeah.
And
that's what I was gonna say. Yeah. Yeah, I think I don't remember. It's been so long since I've had a Hef. I don't even know what I rated it that long ago. Some of them they're so old that I was drinking before I started checking stuff into Untapped.
Yeah.
And like some of these old ones like Hefeweizen, I'd go, oh, I never checked that in. Because like I stopped drinking them by the time I started tracking everything.
Right. By the time Untapped came around, I was already graduated from Widmer Hef.
Yeah. You see,
like I don't think I have Black Butte Porter checked in.
Yeah,
I would almost guarantee that I don't.
That was one that I was surprised too, that because Black Butte Porter was like my first favorite beer.
Yeah.
And so because and then I stopped drinking it because I like a variety.
Yeah.
So when I finally had it again, I'm like, oh, I'm sure I have this, and I looked, and I'm like, no, I don't. I was like, wow,
check this beer, and you're like,
that's a blind spot right there. Let's see. The Untapped Imperial Hef by Widmer is a 3.47 average. I think I gave it. There it is. Yeah, I gave it a 2.5. So I'm a little bit above.
We're pretty close.
Yeah.
That's why I love your beer ratings. Is you and I almost always agree.
We're pretty close. Yes, we are.
John will give something a 4, and I'll give it a 2.75, and he's like, "You're crazy." I'm like, "It doesn't include what it says."
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, but it was still really good. I'm like, it's supposed to be this beer,
it's supposed
and it's
to have
not.
It. Yeah. I've had lots of beers like that where it's like, oh, we have like cherry, like when they have cherries in like a porter or a stout.
Yeah.
And I don't taste any cherry.
Yeah.
Like that's like instantly points off right there.
Yeah.
Like I want some cherry, at least some cherry. Not a hint, not a barely aftertaste. If I smack my lips for 5 minutes, I get a hint of cherry in there.
Yeah.
I want it at least to be in the at least in the back of the throat somewhere.
If you make a barrel-aged stout with coconut, and I don't taste the barrel and I don't taste coconut, you're a 2.5 in my book. I don't care how good you actually are. You're a 2.5 because you didn't deliver what you said.
You're a filthy liar.
Right.
Your can's lying.
Right. I want to know what's going into my mouth.
Yeah.
It's good advice all around.
It is.
Speaking of knowing what's good about to come down.
Oh, I thought you were speaking of what's going in my mouth.
Unraid made a little bit of a kerfuffle over the weekend.
Yeah, I saw that.
And so they dropped a software update on Saturday, and some people started digging into the updated code and found references for not free and not yearly and not lifetime, but starter, unleashed, and lifetime licensure, which is a complete departure from Unraid's standard license model. Unraid had a free tier, they had a $20 annual tier, and they had a $50 lifetime tier. And so you pay $50, you can run unlimited clients, unlimited storage devices, whatever. They appear to be, at least speculation over the weekend was, oh, they're going to jump the shark, they're going to start charging buckets of money, they're going to eliminate everyone's licensure. If you bought a lifetime license, they're going to cancel it and name it a new product, and you blah blah blah. You know, the fear and dread of these types of changes for small communities. Not that Unraid's a small community, but you know, you see a home lab product go the way of commercialization.
Or the German term Scheisse-vacation. Scheisse-vacation.
Yeah.
Scheisse-vacation.
Scheisse.
Scheisse. Why can't I say that? That's because I'm drinking.
Scheisse. Which is really fun. The reason
Scheisse.
I know.
Scheisse.
Yeah.
There we go. I got it.
The reason, yeah, you have to when you say it.
Yeah.
The reason I know some of those early German words is Wolfenstein. That's how they snuck swear words into the English game.
In German.
When you kill some of the soldiers in Wolfenstein 3D, they go Scheisse Kopf, which is shithead.
Yeah. That's well. When you learn a new language, the first thing you learn is the swear.
First thing you learn is all the swears.
It's always swears.
Right.
It's always the case.
Yeah. I did take 3 years of German, and so I know a lot of swears. Anyway, yeah. So one of the worst things that you can do to a community is launch new code in an open source operating system that includes licensure for which there's no documentation for, and not also announce your price changes to go along with that, because it leads to rampant speculation. And that's kind of what we saw over the weekend. Was this dropped midday Saturday, and by the end of day Saturday, people were blowing up Unraid. I've used Unraid for you, I will never use Unraid again. And you know, the usual response when there's no information to be had, so you have to fear the worst. Yeah,
rampant speculation. Yeah.
Right. To Unraid's credit, Monday, now late day Monday, but on Monday, they did respond and said, as some figured out, there are new licenses coming down the pipe. None of them are free. That is one key differentiating feature. None of Unraid's licenses are free. The starter license will support up to 4 devices, and what that means is 4 storage devices. And 4 devices as in 4 individual disks. Not great. Although if you have a small, 3 to 4 disc NAS, not a terrible thing.
That's not a big thing.
It's not a bad thing. If you've got a small enclosure, you only want to run 4 disks. You've got, 4 8 terabyte drives that you picked up. Yeah, it's probably right up your alley. And it will be offered at a lower price than today's basic key. Unleashed supports an unlimited number of devices. This will be an annual renewal and is the same price as today's Plus key, which I believe is $40 a year. I'm not overly familiar with Unraid's current pricing.
What was the price on the starter?
I'm actually going to look up what pricing is right now because I'm curious.
Yeah, because I was reading about this earlier and I didn't see
Here we go.
If anybody had listed what the starter price is going to be.
So they're lowering basic to 4 attached devices, but they're also lowering the price. They didn't say what the price would be, but it's going to be lower than $59. Their Unleashed is now going to have unlimited devices, and that's going to be $89, so it's going to be the same price. And then right now, if you pay for Pro, which is $129, that's unlimited. And I don't know about their lifetime. But yeah, these are all annual prices. So forgive me, they did not have a free tier. Yep. Oh no, buy once, use for life. So these are all lifetime. Okay. There it is. I knew they were they had a lifetime. I didn't realize they were all lifetime. So basic is $59. And that's going to be less expensive, but also only 4 devices. And you get the new plan will be you can upgrade for a year. The new Unleashed will go from 12 devices to unlimited devices. It will stay at $90. And same kind of thing, you get upgrades for a year, but then after a year, if you want to upgrade your OS, you need to pay the licensure again or upgrade to a lifetime license. The Pro is going away in favor of a lifetime license. I'm going to guess this comes in somewhere around $199 if I had to fathom a guess. It makes sense that it would be 2 to 2.5 times what a Plus license would be. Also supports unlimited, and that would be lifetime upgrades as long as you can use them. So yeah, they haven't actually announced new pricing yet, and nothing will change for existing licensures. They did say that. So if you have an existing license, you will be able to carry that license for as long as that license lasts. If you have a lifetime subscription already or a Pro license already, then your Pro license is good for the year. And if and when you're ready to upgrade, cool, you're ready to upgrade.
Well, that's good. They're grandfathering everything in, which means people are probably going to buy that Pro tier right now. And just like, it's probably going to be going up. So let's go bite the bullet, get it now, and then I'll have it grandfathered in.
Yeah. Current licenses are lifetime. Are they unlimited lifetime upgrades, or are they, because the new tier is annual? The new tier is for 12 months. So, yeah, again, I'm not overly familiar with Unraid's licensures. I will say the response to the new pricing plan has been fairly measured, and yeah, we get it from most of the community that I've seen. A lot of them kind of understand selling a one-time license fee does not a good business model make.
Yeah.
The only revenue you have coming in is going to be from brand new customers.
And eventually you're going to plateau.
Yeah. Skull said he's thinking $250 for the new license. Yeah, my guess is at least $199. I would not be surprised at $249. I wouldn't even be surprised at $299 for that license. But it's definitely going to be more expensive than... and I've got a couple people chiming in. Yes, the current licenses are unlimited upgrades for life. So, yeah, you're limited on devices, but you still get lifetime upgrades. If you buy sometime next week, these will start being available, I think sometime in March. They are grandfathering old licenses, but eliminating them entirely and then starting fresh with new licensure for new customers only. Those will be annual unless you buy the lifetime license, which pricing has not been announced on yet.
Yep. So you're going to see a spike in the current unlimited license. Yeah. I'm sure they've probably seen it already, actually. They're like, all right, let's do it. Let's just bite the bullet. I mean, honestly, $129 for an unlimited lifetime license is not that bad of a deal. It's pretty good.
It's really not. I mean, when you consider what the retail price of Windows is, which is $99 or $129 for an OEM license. $99 is the upgrade. $129 is the OEM. Then you're kind of right in the ballpark. Now, when's the last time you heard of anyone spending $100 on Windows?
Yeah, most people don't. Yeah.
Most people don't. It either comes bundled or you buy it somewhere else. By the way, license reselling outside of region, completely legal in pretty much every region. You
can get up I think Windows 10, Windows 11 for like $20-25 or something like that.
Yeah.
At different key stores.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now the problem with key stores is oftentimes they are linked to rampant credit card fraud, where they are buying licenses and then reselling them using stolen credit cards, so they're not even paying Microsoft what they owe them.
Yeah, legally. there are some that are more reputable than others.
Yes. I, as a blanket statement, will not ever sell an advertisement to a software reseller, software website, CD key website.
Key stores, yeah.
Simply because all of them have a bad name. I've used a couple throughout the years. I only ever buy Windows licenses. But there have been so many stories about these fly-by-night CD key websites getting hit with chargebacks from credit card companies because they use stolen credit cards. They buy numbers that they then buy dozens of license keys to get the CD key, which then they can resell for $15 or $20 when they pay $8 for it.
And then the chargeback comes and you lose your license.
Then the chargeback comes. No, you don't necessarily use your license, but the company that they bought the license from, whether it's Steam, gaming companies, if you're an indie developer and someone buys a Russian or Brazilian CD key from you, you already have to sell that at a lower market value than the US. So say you charge $20 for a game and they pay $8 for the Russian copy of it. You then get charged back for that. And you don't even get your 30% cut.
Steam has been cracking down on that type of stuff. They have been very big region lockdowns on a lot of stuff. But I have seen with Steam too that if you do have a key that you bought from like a gray site and then the chargeback happens, I've seen those keys get revoked and the game just disappears from your library.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is not a sure thing, and it happens so many times. And I've heard basically every CD site that's ever approached me, they have gotten nailed within a couple of years for exactly this kind of thing. And so I have a blanket statement. I don't work with them, period.
I know that some of them, they license their platform out to third-party sellers. Is because they're probably not doing the credit card fraud. It's these third-party sellers that are going through them and sending them on their store that do it. I don't know about all the CD key stores, but some of them do that.
Yeah.
I'm pretty
sure some of them are just a marketplace. You're right.
Yeah.
So, Unraid, maybe next time, if you're going to include pricing change license agreements in your update code, don't let it snowball on you. Make the announcement first and then post your update.
Yeah, because this probably cost them quite a bit of money because their unlimited license that they're going to put out or unleash, whatever, it's probably going to be higher than what the unlimited is right now. And you have about a month before the price structures change.
Right.
And you're going to get all the people that are going to buy the unlimited right now, and all that additional revenue is gone now.
Yeah. Yep. What's really funny is speaking of stolen credit cards and everything else, I'm actually bringing some wallets to the store. Later this week. The initial run will be limited colors. I have some stock of each color, but I'm offering a whole bunch of different styles. Now, I kind of showed you, but I kind of want to paint a picture for everyone that's out in the audience right now. Let's say you have a minimalist wallet. What's the funniest thing that you can put on it that makes technical sense from like a tech company side of things? I thought HTTP error codes, HTTP status codes that correlate really, really well when you think about it in the sense of a wallet.
Right.
Follow me here. Error 429, too many requests. There's the obvious 404, money not found.
Money not found. Yeah.
But basically, I've got like 13 or 14 different error codes that I'm going to be offering. You can choose your color and you can choose your error code, and they're going to be printed out just like this on the wallet. By the way, nice metal wallet.
Yeah.
Money clip on it. Craft Computing logo, and just good little wallet. Let's see. 402 error is payment required. 406 is not acceptable. 410 is gone. 413 is probably my favorite. Payload too large.
Yeah, there you go. That's a good one.
There's so many good, like, if you start thinking of it in the idea of a wallet, all of them make sense.
Oh yeah, they make fun. It's fun.
451, unavailable for legal reasons. 429, too many requests. 426, upgrade required. 424, failed dependency. These are all going to be available. You can choose your error code. You can choose your color. I've got 5 colors from the start. Depending on which ones are popular, depending on which ones sell, we're going to be making another very large order of some colors. And those will be available, I believe, on Friday.
Nice. So coming soon.
Yes.
Very, very soon.
Are those Ridge wallets? I can't call them Ridge wallets. They are metal RFID blocking minimalist wallets. Mm-hmm. They're really good quality. I've sent 4 of these out into the wild over the last 4 months or so, because I wanted my friends and family to test them out first. If I'm going to be carrying an item, I want to make sure it's actually going to last. Kind of like my glasses. Like,
yeah,
I have bought so many sample glasses over the last year. I've been trying to bring tasters to the market. I can't find a taster that I can reliably engrave. I might be bringing out shot glasses before too long, though. I do have some shot glasses.
Nice big thick glass like that. Yeah,
real big thick glass. Yeah.
But those hard wallets, we just chucked them over the overpass a couple times, make sure they're stuck together.
Yeah,
and they're still good.
Yeah,
they're still good.
But no, I've got a couple of people. Like I said, I've sent out 4 of these so far, and the reviews that have come back to me from friends and family are, "This is amazing. I literally use it every day. It has held up remarkably well. I think you have a good product on your hands." So I'm really happy with these. I believe I'm going to be sending these out for, I think I'm going to be posting these for $24. So $24 minimalist wallet, craftcomputing.store. Merchandising, where the real money from YouTube is made.
And still flat rate shipping.
Mm-hmm. Nice addition, Steve.
Oh, you're welcome.
I've also thought about doing some other funny phrases on them. Open for Cisco support. I have my flasks as well that I've been looking at expanding the nomenclature on them, because right now it's in case of DNS. I've been thinking about opening that up and including a whole bunch of different companies in case of Cisco, in case of VMware, in case of Intuit, in case of...
Oh, Intuit, yeah.
In case of Active Directory. Like, let's just name all of the software that we all have to work with. So maybe the flasks will be getting an upgrade as of pretty quickly.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you engrave these things on the fly anyway, having the ability to people to pick their own phrase, that's pretty cool.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's awesome, actually.
Yeah, these are all made to order, and so this one was a one-off. If you want blue, if you want green, if you want red, black, gray, I've got a whole bunch of different colors that are coming. And we'll see which ones are popular, which ones get kind of the most positive feedback, and I think we'll go from there. In case of marketing/sales team,
yeah, that's in case of early morning meeting.
Yep. 525 handshake failed. That's not a bad one. Let's see. I've been keeping a log of all of my different ideas. By the way, I also have the pin number one.
Oh yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Just so it can remind you of the combination to your luggage.
Yeah.
So
that's just to say some Spaceballs reference.
Right. Yeah. Spaceballs the wallet.
Yeah. Spaceballs the wallet.
Yeah. I've been keeping. I have a list like 40 long. Of like potential wallet and or flask ideas. For wallets, tastes like rotten fruit and pennies. That was a quote from me. Chip cards are totally secure, you guys.
Yeah.
They're not action figures, they're collectibles.
Yep.
For macro transactions only. 500 internal error. Please try again after payday.
There you
go. Contains no crypto, only money. Owner carries only $20 or 28,427 Dogecoins.
There you go.
Ask me about my crypto wallet.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. I've got so many.
That's awesome. I like it. Have you thought about letting users customize their message if they wanted to?
I've considered doing that as well. The problem is I don't really
character limitations.
There's going to be a character count, and even character count, I don't know if it's going to fit until I lay it out.
Yeah.
For all of these, I have it already pre-laid out. I already have all the templates that I'm going to offer for sale. They're already done. They're already on my machine. I literally just have to set the wallets down and cut them. I have considered looking at doing some custom options, even doing custom order stuff. Do you want some metal business cards? Do you want some promotional items for your business? I'm literally a laser house. I can cut whatever you want.
Shirokin business cards that I can throw.
I just cut a colleague of mine some 0.8 millimeter stainless steel business cards.
Oh, nice. Well, you can put them in this Chinese star and just
you could kill someone with it. It's pretty impressive.
It's like Odd Job if you had a business card.
110 response is stale. I also Allison, you have to have 418. I have 418. 418 is in there.
I'm a teapot. Yes, of course.
No, it's tip me over and pour me out. I'm a little teapot.
I'm a little teapot.
But the error 418 is tip me over and pour me out.
Pour me out, yeah, because I'm a little teapot.
Okay. Elma says it should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, but that doesn't make sense on a wallet because pins are 4 numbers. Yeah. So yeah. The joke is there, but it's a transpositional joke.
Yes, it's a updated for modern audience joke.
Yes. I trained an LLM and all I got was this Flask t-shirt wallet, etc. That's a good one. I use Arch, by the way. That could totally be one. I only accept payment in Ampere or Ada Lovelace cards.
Yep.
Not antisocial, just not user-friendly. That's also a fantastic suggestion. Yeah. In case you see something, say nothing.
And drink to forget.
And drink to forget.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, wallets. Coming soon to the store. Craftcomputing.store. I believe I will be launching these on Friday. So, keep an eye out for those. Let's see. I have the same password on my admin accounts.
Yeah.
This is off Infinity. Send more money.
More money to buy my bits.
Forbidden or access denied are also good. I do have... I have 204, no content. I believe 205 is access denied. I don't think I have access denied on there.
No, 205 is reset content.
Oh, reset content. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, 203.
Yeah, 203 is not authorized access.
Not authorized,
yeah.
Error, too many stop bits. I thought about doing a CSS error where the text falls off.
Oh, is this a little bit off? Yeah. Or it's just kind of cut off there.
I thought about doing one where
I designed my wallet in CSS and it's
CSS out of frame or something like that, and it FRAM and the M cuts off.
Yeah.
There's so many good ideas. Anyway, speaking of good ideas that can only lead to positive things, right?
Always.
Crowd and or fan favorite Vizio, the little TV company that brings basically some of the best performance per dollar to the TV market. Walmart is expected to close a deal this summer to purchase Vizio entirely for $2.3 billion. Why would they buy a TV company when they already own Hisense and gosh, what's the other one? There's a couple others that they own as well.
I forget what other ones they own, but yes.
Yeah, Hisense. What's the brand that makes everything from toasters to TVs to everything else? There's another brand that Incent, Inconnect. No, Connect is the name of their TV appliances, but yeah, there's another brand that I want to say it starts with a D that Walmart has like everything from garden tools to home stereos.
It's their generic brand that they slap everything on.
Yeah. Anyway, Vizio soon to become a Walmart brand if the deal goes through for an estimated $2.3 billion pending regulatory clearance. Now, why would Walmart want to buy another electronics manufacturer? It is On now. There was another one. Yeah, Walmart owns On. Yeah, I knew that.
It's pronounced On.
There's another brand though. They make microwaves. They do coffee makers. They did TVs. They did stereos.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, Westinghouse. Thank you.
There you go.
Westinghouse. Yes. No, it's not Hamilton Beach. Hamilton Beach, surprisingly enough, is independent.
Yeah, they're mostly more kitchen stuff, but I don't think they do TVs.
No. Yeah, Westinghouse is who I was thinking of. But why would Walmart want to buy a TV manufacturer, a TV OEM? It's not necessarily for their IP. It's because of their ad delivery network that's built into their TVs now. Which just pisses me right the F off.
Yeah.
Welcome to modern consumerism, where your data and being able to deliver ads to you is more valuable than being a manufacturer of TVs. That's why Walmart bought them.
Well, and that's probably why their TVs are cheaper and still halfway decent, right?
Yeah.
I have a Vizio TV. I know John has a ton of Vizio TVs because they're cheap, and he has lots. He likes lots of TVs.
My main screen's a Vizio. It's a 75-inch 4K. It's beautiful.
It's a fine TV.
Yeah.
But the good thing is since we have things like Pi-hole, we can block those ads, which is nice. But yes, for your average consumer, no, they won't be able to. And Walmart's going to use that.
Durabrand was the
one.
There was Westinghouse, which is also guilty of the same thing, but Durabrand. Thank you. I knew it started with a D. Thank you.
Do TVs, yes. They do
well done, Glenn. Points to Glenn. Yeah, Vizio was less expensive than Roku. Ain't that the truth?
I know.
Which, by the way, Roku has been increasingly delivering ads to your screen. I don't know if anyone's noticed this in the last 12 months or so. But it used to be you had the scrolling background with the 3 or 4 layers that showed the waterscape and the cities, and had like a whole bunch of movie references, from Ninja Turtles to Superman to Mary Poppins and everything in between. And that was great. And then all of a sudden there were billboards that started showing up, and it was like, oh, watch Roku TV for, this latest thing that we're playing for free that you already have a subscription service for. So screw it. To now you get everything from literal Walmart ads delivered directly to your screen.
Yeah. I mean, everything is going this way. I mean, even Amazon Prime is, even your Prime subscription isn't enough to give you ad-free experience from Amazon videos. Now they're gonna start inserting ads into if you have I think you have to add an extra $5 or something like that to your Amazon Prime if you want an ad-free Amazon Prime experience.
Yeah.
I mean, everything is going that way.
Yep.
And so Walmart wants a piece of that action.
I know it's hypocritical of me to sit here on YouTube, sitting next to things that I put together today to shoot an ad for tomorrow that I will force you to watch to make money from.
Yeah.
I know. I don't like it either, okay? I hate this aspect of my job. I try to make it fun.
Yeah, you do.
I also don't collect data on you.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, I can't necessarily say that because I do have to report to some of my ad integrations what the user click rate is, what the click-through rate is, and that's how I set some of my pricing. So yes, I do collect data on you.
That's a
I'm sorry.
That's more of a statistic than a personal data thing. Yeah,
there's nothing personal. It's literally you click on a button, I click a lap timer.
Yeah,
that's all that is. I'm not giving any personally identifiable information or even anonymized data. I'm giving literally a 1, 2.
Whoa, yeah.
Yeah. Do I like it? No. Would I switch to another model if the opportunity presented itself? Yes. I have heavily considered going to a 100% buy-in method, no longer posting videos on YouTube.
Subscription-based,
being subscription-based. If I could give, if every one of my subscribers would give me $1 a year, done.
Yeah,
I'll host the videos myself.
Yeah, $1 a year is cheap. I mean,
if you give me $1 per year, I will deliver minimum 150 videos per year, plus live shows.
I mean, that's happened to some people who set up just really dumb GoFundMes.
Mm-hmm.
Like, hey, go send me $1 so I'll eat this chicken live at the beach. I'll eat it all. Yep. And he gets like $200,000 because they all sent him $1. And I'm like, okay.
Deesbit says Floatplane.
You do go through Floatplane already.
I am on Floatplane. I like Floatplane for existing. Floatplane works when you're the size of Linus.
Yeah.
Floatplane does not work when you're the size of Jeff. Unless, of course, I can get everyone to decide that it works and everyone give me $1. And that's kind of what Linus is trying to do. Hey, all of my 10 million people, give me $1.
Right.
Like, that's what he's trying to do. It's a good business model. But even for his number of employees, $10 million a year after, everything, that doesn't even come close to covering his payroll. Like, good Lord, he employs 100 people.
I know, that's a small company. I mean, that's a good small company right there.
Right.
So yeah, it takes a lot, and it's not. He's also a Canadian company too. He's not U.S. based, right?
No, he's Canadian. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
But, I think he even has 15 million. So if every subscriber gave him $1 a year, he doesn't even make payroll.
Yeah.
Like, that's the reality of his business. With me, if all 330,000 of my subscribers gave me $1, it's more than twice what I cleared last year.
Right.
Like that's really, I could do whatever you wanted, and I could buy hardware myself, and I could dive into any project I wanted. But because it's not on YouTube, it's not discoverable, and no one's there to watch it.
Yeah.
It has to be on
YouTube. That's kind of a bit of a weird dichotomy. So I just, this is kind of a weird anecdote, but it dovetails into this pretty well. I just watched, I don't know if you guys know, it's another YouTuber, Max Miller. It's completely different. He does like food and history type stuff behind it.
Mm-hmm.
And he did this recent thing about how did a tire company, Michelin, become a food critic?
Right.
Like you see these Michelin star type things. Well, how did that happen? And apparently what it was is, being a tire company, they wanted to put out guides to places that people would drive to,
right.
And if they would drive more, they would buy tires more, right? So they started putting out these guides, and at first they gave them out for free, and then they were like semi-popular or something like that, but they didn't really like reach the people like they wanted it to. So they ended up charging a small fee, because they thought, well, if it's worth something, if it's a small fee, people will think it's more valuable, right? So they'll actually use it. And so they charged a small fee, and they end up being, more successful, and then the whole thing like that. But with YouTube stuff and video, everyone is so used to it, everything being free,
mm-hmm.
that if you start charging even $1, you're going to lose a bunch of people.
I can't even carry 10%.
Yeah.
Over. I can't even carry 1% over to a monetization.
Yeah.
From YouTube, because people expect this kind of content to be free. Even though, traditionally, we have paid for this kind of content. Through a cable package, through a subscription, through something. Yeah. It's integrated into a cost that you're paying, but as soon as I ask for an a la carte subscription, people go, well, I would only do that for ESPN, and I'd only give them $5.
Right. Exactly.
For those recommending Floatplane, here's what I will say. I have 240 backers on Floatplane. I clear $350 a month. I make $1.59 per subscriber on Floatplane. Average.
Yeah.
Which is decent. $1.59 per subscriber per month.
It's not bad.
Can I carry 330,000 of them over?
Mm-mm.
Can I carry 200,000 of them over? No. Of my 332,000 subscribers, I've carried 220 over. My Patreon, 895, I think, is the current number that I'm at. My Patreon is 890 people. I make about $2,500 a month from Patreon. It's one of my main income sources. It's my second income source to selling pre-roll ads. It's more money than I make on YouTube. 894 people give me more money than YouTube does for posting videos on YouTube.
But you give them a benefit with Patreon, right? So they get access to Discords and early access to stuff.
Right.
So there's a value to that.
In total, I've converted 1,100 people from free to monetized out of 330,000. It's not a good conversion rate.
Yeah. So yes, that's what I'm saying. Is like a lot of people expect YouTube. They're so used to YouTube being free.
Yep.
That they get mad when you have to pay for stuff like that.
Right.
This is like,
people get mad when I put pre-roll ads in.
Yeah, I know.
The video actually starts at 1 minute and 10 seconds. I'm sorry. Did you like this $5,000 server that I just built?
Yeah.
I have to pay for that somehow.
You have to do that, yeah.
I have in my possession 4 Epic Genoa CPUs. Why haven't you seen a video on it yet? Because I can't find a partner to deliver DDR5 ECC memory. And I also don't have $2,000 to buy DDR5 RDIMMs to put in the server to make it work. I have everything else. I've got the motherboard, I've got power supply, I've got case, I've got everything ready to rock on this system. I can't afford the DDR5 RDIMMs to put in the system. I'm about ready to call AMD and ASRock Rack and say, I'm sorry, I can't review these products. I'm going to send them back.
Yeah, I can't make it work unless you guys help me out here.
Yeah.
I can sweeten the pot a little bit.
Zach says, joke's on you. I'm monetized right from the start. Thank you. That's why you're the best.
No, but I mean, it's $1 for the Patreon, and you still get on the Discord. The Discord's a ton of fun anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, not to like inject another advertisement in here, but no, it is. It's a nice place to hang out. It really is.
Yep. Let's see. Cormacor sends over 2 Canadian, and he's sleeping. I don't know if it's because we were talking shop or what. Cody says he subscribes on Floatplane, which I appreciate for. I appreciate you. Linus is 5'6". You are what? +6? You are bigger than Linus.
Technically true.
Technically
true. The best kind of
I'm
true.
Twice the man Linus is.
Yeah, that's right.
I do have a selfie with Linus, so.
Are you just like towering above him?
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah. Did you have to squat a little bit?
I did. Hold on. I'll find it here.
Okay, while you're looking for,
we
have here's a super chat.
Yeah.
Oh, there we are. Yes. Oh yeah. He definitely looks small. He's like an Ewok.
Yeah. My 11-year-old daughter is 5 inches shorter than him.
Oh my gosh. I haven't seen your daughters in a while. Knowing that they're your kids, they're probably going to be pretty tall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My 11-year-old is the tallest of the bunch. Like statistically, she's 99th percentile.
Yeah.
She's going to be over 6 foot. Middle kid, little bit. She's probably, she's going to be like above average for a woman, but above average at like 5'9".
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Taller, but not insane. Not like Miss Insane. Miss is going to be like 6'1", 6'2".
Yeah.
She's going to be up there from all the projections. Anyway, Green sends over $5. Thank you very much, Green. Appreciate it. Star Wars Battlefront Collection announced. All major platforms, including Switch. Steam Store listing seems to say LAN and co-op intact. 64 players. Ooh, that's going to be fun.
Yeah, that's going to be good because that was honestly my favorite Battlefront. Even with the new ones from EA,
Battlefront 2
is
hits on so many different levels.
Yeah, I don't know where EA went wrong. All they had to do was just like stick with the same formula, update the graphics, put new maps in there. Would have been great. But no, they had to like microtransaction it and put all that other crap in there. It's still a beautiful game, don't get me wrong. But it just doesn't hit the same.
Battlefront Collection announced. Let's see, coming March 14th.
Yeah, it's coming next month. Yeah,
nice.
I just read about that today too.
That's in time for PDX LAN.
It is.
Just saying.
It is.
Let's see. Switch, PS5, PS4, Xbox Series X and S, Xbox One, PC via Steam for $35. That's not bad. Restored online play for up to 64 players, expansions to Hero Assault Mode, and all previously released bonus content for both titles. Steam users will also enjoy Steam Deck support. That's pretty awesome.
Steam Deck support's big. That's good.
That is good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I got another super chat. Daryl sends over 2 Aussie bucks. Thank you so much. Here's $2 dues. Not $1, but dangerous. Nice. And Zach says, Craft Computing and I have a selfie with Tech Potato. Yes, you do have a selfie with Tech Potato, don't you? Ordinary Dude says, Jeff, your ads are fine. People need to join the Patreon and get on the Discord server when possible. I agree with that statement.
Yeah.
I don't like selling ads, but if I have to sit through an ad, I'd rather it be enjoyable. That's one thing I always appreciated from a lot of other channels. I like the ads that LTT runs because they're 10 seconds. Today's video is brought to you by blah, blah, blah. The blah, 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 blah for blah. Click the link down in the video description to learn more, and you're onto the video.
Yeah.
That's great. They can charge whatever they want for that because they're LTT, because every video gets 1.5 million views, bar none.
Doesn't matter, yeah.
As long as you get a mention and there's a link in the description, the ancillary clicks you will get from that is insane. If they get a 5% click through,
right,
that's 50,000 clicks.
So here's the thing. I think while Linus Tech Tips does that, because like if he tried to do a nice production like you did and made some really funny ads and stuff like that,
yeah,
most people, because he's got a huge subscriber base,
yeah,
even if it's entertaining, a good number of the people will just go through it, just like click through it. They'll just pass over it.
Yeah.
But if you make them short, sweet, and quick, less time for people to be able to click over it, more people will actually watch it.
Yeah.
That's probably why he does it. You probably do it because it keeps people's butts in the seat a little bit more.
I don't want you to click off my video.
Yeah. And
if I put an ad that's boring as crap, that's 60 seconds long, today's video is brought to you by blah, 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 and the blah, blah, blah. It's the best thing that's ever happened.
It's the blah, 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 from the blah, blah, blah.
You can visit the blah, blah, blah at here.com and click pre-order and go to their Kickstarter and blah, blah, blah. By the way, thanks to blah, blah, blah for sponsoring today's. No one wants to sit through that.
No one does, no.
I don't want to sit through that.
No. Yeah.
I would rather create a Lexar SSD ad of a conglomeration of movie trailers with explosions and car chases and everything else, and make it fun. And it took me 4 hours to produce that, but I also charged a decent penny for that. They ran it multiple times, and people go, "Oh my god, that's an SSD commercial? That's amazing!" And you know what? My click-through rate goes up, and no one clicks off my videos. It's beneficial to everyone involved.
Yeah.
Cormacor sends over 2 Canadian. We take those. 6+ kid will be great for maintenance top of racks. What? Oh, 6+ kid will be great for maintaining top of rack server.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Got it.
She can get the dusting at the top pretty easy.
Yeah. I mean, I'm 6'4", so I can already do a lot of that myself. But yes. It would be nice one day to be able to put them to work. I love how we went from like Walmart and incessant advertising to me going like, here's how I do my advertising, and I'm sorry it's incessant, but I need the money.
It's natural flow of conversation.
Following a lengthy ad for craftcomputing.store and an upcoming product, which I all hope you buy. Speaking of, I am finished with my first beer.
Me too. I am done as well. And that was a hefty 10%. I'm feeling pretty loose. I'm feeling pretty good. I'm ready for the next beer.
This one mellowed out as it got a little warmer.
That's how most beers do anyway.
The hops kind of, they just relaxed just a little bit.
I don't think the hops relax. I think what it is the maltiness of the Imperial went up. So the sweetness kind of curved at the edge of the hoppy bitterness.
I still hesitate to call any of the back end sweet.
Okay.
It is still very bitter. It is still the sour note that it left me with from the start.
Yeah.
That doesn't exist anymore. But it doesn't warm at all. Mm-hmm. It starts bitter and it stays bitter. And whereas before it left you with like this isn't the right descriptor, but like sour cucumber kind of thing. Now it just stays a little bitter. Wasn't great.
Some beers benefit from a little warming. Some beers do not.
Right. This one benefited. I will say that. I think warmed up. I think a 2.5. I think I'm going to fully agree with you.
Yeah.
It's not the worst thing I've ever had.
Yeah.
It's drinkable. It is 9%, but it ain't a hef. It's not German inspired.
No. They probably just used like a Hefeweizen yeast.
Yeah.
That's it. And that's it. They may have fermented it at higher temperatures, which you need to do with the Hefeweizen, but
Yep.
That's about it. That may be as far as it goes.
Yep.
I'm real excited about this one, the Sticky Hands, the marmalade.
Oh, yeah.
Now, aroma right away, it smells like normal Sticky Hands, like very dank. Very, marmalade.
Sticky Hands, for those who don't know, it's out of Block 15 out of Corvallis, Oregon. It is a local brewery. They are not widely distributed. You okay, Steve?
It's that good. It's that good.
Oh my god! I'm gonna have to find that now. I got to go out tomorrow and find that.
It's good. It's really good. It's Sticky Hands plus.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what it is. That's phenomenal. That's really good. I can see why it's rated high.
Yeah. So local brewery, we often will compare this beer to the bolder, danker type IPAs because this is the poster child for a, let's just say, 420 inspired IPA.
Yeah.
It's sticky. It's dank. It is thick. It is wet. It's how many other descriptors can I put to this?
Moist.
Moist.
This is all that
foggy
with a more orangey citrus flavor. So it's all that with a good kick of sweet orange fruitness in the back end. It's excellent.
Nice.
I if you can find this, I highly recommend it.
Sticky Hands is such a great beer. To know that there's a Sticky Hands plus out there.
Yeah, it's
to know that there's an Intel 10 process of Sticky Hands out there.
Yeah. It's good. It's good. You got to find it.
So I am opening a Freem Brewing out of Hood River, Oregon. Extra pale. Crystal freaking clear.
That is nice color. Yeah, look at that.
That is a good looking beer. Almost as dank on the nose as Sticky Hands. Maybe not quite. It's got a little... Some IPAs are funky. This one's funky.
Yeah.
Jason's having an Elysian Contact Haze. Very similar to Sticky Hands.
That's very similar, yes.
Very similar note. If you like Contact Haze, if you like Waldo's, if you like... There's a number of other IPAs that are out there that are that...
Yeah.
Space Dust is also right up there. Not quite, maybe a little lighter on the flavor, but yeah, all very, very good.
Yeah, the Contact Haze wasn't that the one that just it smelled like a dispensary? Yeah.
Yep.
There's one of them just like one of the Elysians just it smells like going to a dispensary. Like you could just I mean, it tasted great.
It's dank dust.
Dank dust. That's what
dank dust.
Was it? Yeah, dank dust.
Dank dust. Elysian dank dust. Holy freaking! It was their space dust formula that was double dry hopped.
Yeah.
Holy crap!
That stuff smelled like a dispensary, but it tasted great. It tasted so good.
That smelled like a humidor in a college dorm room. $5 from Denborough. Can I get a wallet that says this email could have been a fist fight? Do you want a wallet or a flask with that on it? Allison says all this talk about beers that never get within 1,000 miles of here. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
I wish some of these breweries had wider distribution.
That's one of the main problems that John has with his hops and brews thing is because he has a lot of like really good, unique and rare beers, but they don't get widely distributed. So it's like, who wants to, watch a beer review for a beer you can't get a hold of? Right.
Yeah.
His more popular views on his videos are the ones that are most widely distributed. So Yeah. Yes. The local brews that you can get here, absolutely great, terrific, delicious. They just don't distribute them worldwide. I'm sorry.
Yep. Oh, John gets some beers that I can't buy too.
Oh yeah. But you know, if you pay the $1 to the Patreon, you get on the Discord.
You can at least drool over them with us.
Well, but we also do the Secret Santa beer exchange.
Oh, that's true.
We do the Secret Santa beer exchange. So some people can get some funky stuff.
Yeah. Let's see. Mike, Jeff isn't wanting to talk about his 2-node server that he bought off eBay and tell us when he is putting that video out. I love that it's an open secret that I bought a 2-node Epic server on eBay recently. I haven't announced that at all publicly outside of the Discord server, yet I have been pinged on Twitter. When is this video coming? Like, who told someone? Because I only told 800 people. But all of a sudden people are chiming in going like, when is this video coming out? I can't wait for it to come out. I can't wait to get the server to post.
Okay.
I'm still waiting to figure that out.
How to get it to post?
So I will give you a little sneak peek, okay? I have been able to power it on. I have been able to get access to the BCM, which is the server control module on it. Kind of. There is a serial diagnostic port via USB on the server, which connects directly to an A-Speed AST2500, which is a very common VGA output card as well as BCM device for IPMI. Mm-hmm. I can dial into that via serial, but I cannot access it via web because via web it requires a paid license and a cloud subscription to Quanta, which doesn't exist
anymore. Yeah.
Which I don't have. No, Quanta exists, but
okay,
they're not going to let me sign up.
Sign up for it, yeah.
I'm not going to pay for it. I have serial access to the BCM. Unfortunately, the serial access is literally the Linux/BSD environment that's on the BCM that doesn't actually have fingers out into your system. It's to configure the BCM, not for the BCM to configure the PC. There's VGA on the server. The VGA's been disabled.
Oh. That's makes it hard.
The VGA's been disabled in the BIOS. Okay, so I'll reset the BIOS. Nope, sorry, that was set as default. So you have to use the BCM via the web to configure the BIOS to enable VGA output so you can configure the rest of the server. This is the loop of bullshit I've been going through for 2 weeks, okay? I've made some progress.
Can you flash the ROM?
I got onto Quanta. As soon as something goes end of life, Quanta deletes it from existence. There's no documentation. There's no BIOS. There's no drivers. There's
got to be some archive repository somewhere.
I mean,
not official, but maybe.
So my plan is tomorrow. I'm actually filming a video, which is the first of many of going through my rack and starting to reconfigure hardware and software. Now I'm starting at the top. I'm starting at my TrueNAS server and going. I know I just did a full tour of my rack as it exists at the beginning of 2024, but that was the beginning of 2024. Here's how we're going to look forward to the rest of the year. I'm going to literally gut and replace everything. So we'll start tomorrow with replacing some hardware on my TrueNAS server, which will free up some hardware that I need for the 2-node server. And part of my goal of releasing this video and only covering part of the 2-node server is to get someone who knows Quanta hardware to respond to me and go, I can help you out. Here's how we make this work. Because my ultimate goal is just to save these things from e-waste. I hate seeing good hardware go to waste. And here is a $500 2-node Epic server that'll take Naples or Rome CPUs, 16 DIMMs per blade, 6 2.5-inch drives built into each node, dual X16s coming out the back, a full size and a half size.
Wow. Okay.
Good little servers.
Yeah.
If you can't turn them on, though,
They don't do you any
they're
good.
literally e-waste.
Yeah, they are.
So I'm going to put out the video of I don't know and I can't figure it out. Can someone help me figure it out? And let's democratize the information on these and make them useful again.
Yeah.
So there we go. Should have gone Dell. I looked at Dell's. It was $1,200 for the same package.
Ugh.
I wanted to build my own couple of Epic servers. Guess what? It's $400 for Epic Naples motherboards. Still! Boards that debuted in 2017. The Supermicro H11 SSL-H.
I was going to say, that's board, almost like 7 years ago. Yeah.
That board is still selling for $385. I bought that board for $300 3 years ago. That board is more today than I paid for it in 2020. I don't even know. I don't know why that. I don't know why none of that hardware has come down in price other than the CPUs. The CPUs have come down in price. Nothing else has come down in price. Probably because every other system that's out there is a dual node Quanta or a Dell or something else that is locked down in firmware that you can't reuse unless you have a license. Craft Computing, can you get a BIOS chip, dump the current ROM, edit it, and flash it to the new chip? Even if I could, God, that's a lot of work.
It is.
And it's not something I expect the average person to do. It's not and so it's not a solution that I really want to entertain. A lot of the stuff that I do, I want to be replicatable.
Well, you can always, like, if you dump the ROM, adjust the ROM to how you need it, and then you have the ROM.
Right.
Then you can distribute that, right?
There is, if I can dump the ROM, if I can get a clean dump of a ROM, which I do have a ROM or a BIOS chip dumper, I could hook up, I could see if I could dump the chip. If I could get a clean dump of the chip, and if I could figure out how to enable VGA and do a couple other things, I could then save that BIOS. There is a recover via USB toggle jumper on the board. So it looks on the USB for the a BIOS to pull in. Mm-hmm. I have no documentation as far as this motherboard, as far as what file format or naming scheme or whatever else it expects. But I'm sure some future boards have that documentation somewhere. And so if I could give it a naming scheme and an extension that the USB looks for to be able to flash a new BIOS to it.
So you just distribute that ROM.
I think there's a method to be able to distribute that ROM out and make these boards usable again. So that's kind of what I want to do. You're not the average person. You're the go-to server guy. I know. But I don't want to just do this for myself.
You got to be able to make it so that other people can replicate it fairly easily, not with like specialized equipment and stuff like that.
Yeah, dump and then give us the ROM. And yeah, that's kind of my idea. I love doing democratization of information. I bought this PC, let's pull the info off it, let's give it to the community, let's figure out what we figure out, let's put it back on the server and make it fire up. That's what I want to do. If I have to get into desoldering crap, you've lost me.
You're going too far.
Because no one else is going to do that.
Yeah. Most people don't want to do that.
Yeah.
I mean, you're going to have your enthusiasts that will, but most people are not going to, like, oh, once they get to the point in a video where like, well, now you have to desolder this, they're like almost already out. They're like, no, they can do that.
Yep. Yeah. Do you have an extra graphics card that would fit in there? I do have some small form factor graphics cards. That is a thought of maybe I put a graphics card in it and maybe that'll give me access to the BIOS. Although that's assuming, I hadn't actually even considered going that route.
It might work.
It might work. You might be onto something. Holy crap, we might be onto something. I might try that tonight.
You're like, Jeff's not going to be at the after party. He's going to be doing something
else. Now you got me excited. I hadn't even considered that, but no, I have a ton of small form factor. They're all on the desk behind me. No, actually, there's one in front of me. I've got a P1000 like right here.
Well, there you go. Like people want to see Jeff tinkering with it after the show. $1 to the Patreon.
Maybe I'll walk out to the garage and I'll hook up my iPad and I'll
gets you out there. Maybe we'll watch, see what's going down.
Mike says you told us about it a couple weeks ago when you were talking about wearing your cat ears. Yeah. After party soldering.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, some VGA cards will bypass onboard, and the default behavior for most systems is when a PCIe graphics card jumps in, is it bypasses the onboard, and so even if the onboard is disabled, it will just feed video out. You might be onto something.
Yeah. There's nothing that turns my wife on more than after dark soldering. You use some late night soldering, that gets the engines going.
I do happen to have, from my time at ProtoCase and 45 Drives, my demo laser weld that I did.
Oh, that's nice. Clean.
Yeah. This was the first bead that I laid down. Look at that. This hasn't been touched. It's even rusted over because it came back with me and it's just been sitting on my desk. And so this is just the surface rust from bare metal. But that's the bead that I laid down. No grinder, no nothing else. God, it's freaking gorgeous. I want one of these machines. I need a laser welder in my new studio.
Yeah, laser welding is amazing.
Yeah. Live stream it. Frankenstein in 2024. Yeah. What's funny is I built a couple of PCs today, and the premise of it is Frankenstein's monster.
Oh, nice.
So the ad that's going to go. So I have a PC case that I'm doing an ad for. You'll see 2 or 3 of these run. The premise of it is now I will give my creation life. Flick a switch and there's smoke and sparks and everything.
You didn't get Rhett over there hunched over and going, yes, master, yes.
I didn't.
Good.
It is me working with like a metal chop saw and jigsaw and king with a hammer and whatnot. So.
Hammer and chisel, just bang, 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 bang.
How goes the new studio? We're gonna go out for the permit in April. Long story short, I wanted to get it in August. August turned into November. November brings rain. I wasn't going to build a studio in the rain because in Oregon, there's no such thing as, we'll build it the 2 weeks that it's dry, because it never dumps on us, but it's also always just kind of raining.
Always kind of moist and wet outside.
Right.
Yeah.
75% humidity, but also it's always just kind of...
I mean, there's a reason why people say Oregon is super green, and there's a reason for that, because it's also very wet.
Right. It rains 8 months out of the year. Now, the funny thing is we're also a natural desert, so it also doesn't rain 4 months a year.
Yeah.
And it's amazing. It's how we trick all the Californians to move up here, is they'll go, oh, I want to spend a couple of weeks in Oregon, and so they'll come up to Bend in June, and they're like, this is amazing.
And then they come move up, and they're like,
and then they'll come up again in July and go it's 88 degrees, and I can go to the mountains or the beach, and it's 78 on the beach, and this is great. And then in August, it gets a little warm. We'll hit 95, sometimes triple digits and whatnot. But it's still wonderful. You know what? It's still really pretty out. And then September comes and it's back to real temperate. We're back in the 75, 80 degree range. And this is great. I'm gonna look for a house down here. They'll buy a house. They'll move it in October just in time for the rain to hit.
Oh, yeah. Just late October is when it starts getting miserable.
Yep.
And it's that way for the rest of the year.
And when I say no rain, I mean 0 rain.
No.
I mean between June 1st and October 31st, I think we average 4 days of rain. We always get this weird, odd couple of weeks, either at the end of January or the beginning of February. Beginning of February.
Where it's sunny. It's still cold, but there's no rain.
As someone who has a convertible, my first top-down day of every year is usually the first or second week of February.
Yeah.
Because
for some reason, it always
we
is
will
nice
hit
and clear.
68 degrees and sunny.
Yeah.
For like 3 or 4 days straight.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. It's the one thing that prevents suicide more than anything else in Oregon.
Yeah, because there's these little breaks from the abject misery of the weather.
Yeah.
That we get. And yeah, the end of January, beginning of February is usually that time.
Yeah.
But we're getting back into where it's starting to rain again because it was absolutely gray and nasty all day today.
Oh god, it was but what's really funny is I still got like 2 hours of sun today.
For a brief moment.
Yeah. No, we got about 2 hours over here. Which was nice.
I was gonna go for a walk, nice. It's like it's nice and sunny to go for a walk, it's my break.
It was still raining, but it was sunny out.
Well, no, it was sunny, but there was this giant, ominous Darth Vader of a cloud in the distance. And I'm like, all right, now I'm gonna stay inside.
Yep. Jason says, move to Oregon for the rain and the seasons. What's really funny is, I tell my wife this all the time because she's always like, I want to go to the beach today. And I'm like, you want the idea of the beach from that one day you had in high school when it was like 82, no wind, perfectly beautiful. That's not the Oregon coast. I've experienced that day twice. And most of the time, the Oregon coast is miserable. It is. Even when it's sunny out, it is blistering wind. It is like 40 to 60 mile an hour gusts.
My favorite time at the coast, my favorite trip to the coast, this was a couple years ago. It was my birthday. And my birthday's in November. And my wife, she's like, okay, for your birthday, we're going to book a little cabin out on the coast facing the beach and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. November, the beach, very stormy, almost always.
Yeah.
But it also happened to coincide with the initial release of Skyrim. So I'm like, all right, we're going to go to the beach. I'm going to take my PC with I'm going to take my PC with me. I'm going to take my PC with me and I'm going to go because it was at Cannon Beach and there was like a brewery just not too far from the stand. I'm going to go out, get a couple growlers, bring it back. And I'm just going to drink beer, watch the storms outside and play Skyrim. It was awesome. It was
typically
awesome.
We haven't done this in a couple years. We haven't done this since COVID. But my wife and I have been married 20 years this year. Every year until 2020, we would take like a 5-day vacation in January, either January or February. So sometime between New Year's and Valentine's Day. In Cannon Beach, we would get a beachfront condo and we'd spend 5 days sitting by the fireplace watching storms roll through.
Storm watching is great. It is great. It is completely different beach experience than you think. You people think of the beach, like palm trees, sit by the sand, by the ocean. No, in Oregon, you watch the storms rage.
Yeah.
By a cozy fire.
Yeah. You watch the sneaker waves climb up and over the jetties.
You watch the violence of nature by a cozy fire. Yes.
So good. There's a couple hotels and a couple of Airbnbs that we frequent over there. Like I said, we haven't been back since 2020.
Yeah.
I think we need to do that this next year again.
I like it. I kind of enjoy that because that's like you're indoors. You don't have to worry about like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially if I could, bring my computer with me and sit here and play games, drink beer, and watch the storms rage.
Yep.
Fun stuff, man.
But no, since I worked in IT and I worked in a lot of government stuff, one of the only times I got to take vacations was usually January or sometimes like August. And so typically I'd take a week vacation in January and we'd go out and we'd go to Cannon Beach and we'd do storm watching, or there was one year we did a 101 road trip where we went south on I-5. We stayed in Grants Pass on night 1.
Yep.
Day 2, we drove down to Crescent, California, which is just south of the Oregon border on the Highway 101. And then we spent 5 days driving the entire length of 101.
Yeah,
driving the entire Pacific Coast Highway.
We didn't go that far. So we did something very similar last year, except we stopped off went to Florence and went to the sand dunes, and
Yep.
then we went to Gold Beach.
Yep.
And then we went to Crescent City, stuff like that, to the Redwoods and stuff like that. Very similar.
Yeah.
Didn't go as far south.
Yeah. So what we do is we've done this road trip twice now. We go down to Grants Pass, and then we take the Redwood Highway over to Crescent, and it's a beautiful drive.
Yeah.
And then
that's where the trees of mystery. If people have seen the big statue of Paul Bunyan and his ox, that's the trees of mystery. It's right there. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We'll go to Crescent. We'll usually hit the shops in Crescent. It's a beautiful area.
Mhm.
There's right before you cross back into Oregon, there's Last Chance Liquor.
Yes, I know that place. I've been there several times. It's kind of funny. Okay, speaking of which, so for people who don't know, most people in the United States, most liquor commissions and liquor rules are ruled by the state. They're not, federal. So all along the West Coast, I think it goes. You start at north, which is Washington, which is probably the most expensive. Then Oregon, we're kind of mid, but we got our OLC, or Oregon Liquor Commission.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have the most liberal for liquor is California.
Yeah.
So we have people that actually drive all the way from Washington through Oregon, right across the border, and buy tons of liquor and drive back to Washington because it's cheaper that way to do it.
It is cheaper, even including gas, hotel, travel, time, everything, to buy liquor in California in a great enough quantity than it is to buy liquor in Washington.
It is.
I have personally, even from Oregon, made this trip because I bartend a couple of times a year for family events, and we get some pretty big family events. And if I'm spending $500 on liquor, I'm going to go down to California and spend $350 on liquor.
Yeah.
And then $40 on gas.
Yeah.
It actually works out.
It works out. Yeah, it works out, especially if you're buying in large quantities.
Yeah. So, but no, we'll drive down to Crescent City. We'll hit the shops there. They've usually got some fun stuff down there. We'll drive north. We hit, the Rogue River. We hit all the little cities around there. Drive north. You get to Florence. You get the sand dunes. You can rent ATVs. You can horse ride on the beach. You can do a whole bunch of stuff there. Drive a little further north. You've got, Newport, home of Rogue.
Yep.
So your Rogue Dead Guy and all those. That's where Rogue is in Newport, Oregon. They're on the north side of the bay there. And there's a couple little campouts. There's a KOA there. There's a lot of nice little hotels. There's downtown shops. There's a whole bunch of fun stuff. You go a little further north. There's Lincoln City. We've got the outlet malls. They've got some of the best beaches in Oregon are there in Lincoln City.
Oh yeah.
You go a little bit further north. Then you get into some weird territory where no one lives.
You got Pacific City, which has got. I think Pacific City is like your last bastion of civilization.
Yes.
They also have Pelican Brewing's there, which is home of my favorite barley wine, Mother of All Storms.
Mother of All Storms, that's right.
Yeah, that's where they have it. But yeah, you going north of that, there's pretty much just a smattering of teeny tiny towns until you hit Tillamook.
Yeah, and even Tillamook, not a big town.
Not a big town.
What's really funny is even before Tillamook, you've got cities like Nehalem.
Yeah. Just a sneeze and you missed it type of town.
Yeah. Which, by the way, is the Nehalem from the Intel Nehalem architecture.
Yes.
It's what it's named after.
Well, that's when they started naming things after rivers and lakes in the Pacific Northwest. Mm-hmm. You're eventually going to run out.
right, exactly.
You gotta do something.
But no, somewhere between Pacific City and Tillamook, of Tillamook cheese fame, is Nehalem, Oregon. It's a real place in Oregon. There's like 900 people there.
It's not. Yeah, I've driven through it a couple times, and there's not much there.
Yep.
I think there's a gas station, a convenience
store. There's a Shell station at the one red light.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
But no, then you get into some really beautiful area. You get into Cannon Beach and Seaside and Astoria.
Oh, Cannon Beach. Yeah, that's Astoria, famous for Goonies and Short Circuit and Kindergarten Cop. It's not the Duma.
It's not the Duma. Yeah. That's where Westmere EP is located. That's right. The Oregon Coast is great.
I love the Oregon Coast.
This story. Sorry, jumping right back in.
This is a jarring shift, but yeah, let's go for
This is a giant shift, although we started talking Intel there at the very end, and this kind of has its roots with Intel.
Kind of does, yes, it does.
We hear all the time about barn find cars.
Oh, yes.
About, like, you know, my grandfather bought this Pontiac GTO back in 1967, and he drove it 38 miles, and then he parked it, and it needed something, and he never quite fixed it, and so it just sat in this barn for 48 years, and we hear about that kind of crap all the time.
Yeah.
And it's really cool. I love hearing stories like that. There's an era of technology that's just kind of lost because computers were seen as something different. Computers weren't seen as a different era. They were seen as lesser than. They were seen as something to be replaced and discarded.
Well, with cars, it was always like, even no matter how old it was, it could still be driven on a road.
Mm-hmm.
Computers were looked at as something, as technology moved on. This is old, it's disposable.
Right.
But that's history you're disposing of.
Right.
So, I mean, we are approaching, we are in an era where a lot of old vintage computers are collectible and are worth a lot of money.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen this firsthand. I've said many times on the channel, if anyone can find me a compact Presario CDTV 520, I will pay a bounty price for that computer. I want my first computer back.
Yeah.
But barn find computers aren't something that we hear of every day.
No, not
even
that
though
often
they
at all.
probably exist and they're probably out there.
Yeah.
This is a special find. This is something really cool. It's kind of the grandfather of desktop PCs. And
Absolutely.
What do I mean by that? Well, you have computers like, you know, the original Apple and the Apple II.
Mm-hmm.
You've got computers, you know, you've got your ZX Spectrums and your Sharps and computers like that, your Amigas. What is the origin of the desktop PC, though? The origin of the desktop PC, and by all accounts, the x86 architecture, starts with the Intel 8088 processor.
Yep.
And while examples of that exist, some of the original early examples are completely lost to history. At least that's what we thought until this weekend, when some cleaners for an industrial factory found in a closet a Q1 desktop.
In box. Yes.
Brand new.
Yeah.
Never used.
That's insane.
They found two of them.
I know.
Sorry, it was not an industrial factory. Kingston University in London. The Q1 is one of the first microprocessor PCs ever released for sale.
This is like Indiana Jones and the microprocessor of destiny.
Belongs in a museum.
It belongs in a museum.
Right. So this PC's origins date back to 1972.
Yep.
So this predates Apple. This predates a number of different companies like that. But it is using an Intel 8088 processor, discrete TTL logic, 16 kilobytes of memory, and a processing speed of 800 kilohertz.
That's it. I mean,
0.8 megahertz.
We can overclock that, make it higher.
As the article states, there are key fobs that outdo that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yep. That particular Intel processor gives the Q1 its claim to fame as being the world's first true microprocessor. found in Kingston University by some cleaners in a back closet. They found 2 of them brand new in box. I've got to say, this is incredible.
It is. It's a really great find. I don't, because I read the article. I don't remember them saying that they actually turned it on to see if it worked.
I can't imagine anyone would actually try to turn them on. If they know what they're doing, they wouldn't try to turn them on until they open them up and check caps, check them out, something.
Check everything, yes. Right. Because there could be like, you plug it in, you fry something, and you just like...
The fact that in the picture that they published, there's a soldering iron on the station, that leads me to some very good conclusions that it's in the right hands.
Yeah, they're looking at stuff. They're being very cautious with it. Yeah,
this is a test bench somewhere. There's an analyzer in the background and a soldering iron on the table. This is in good hands. This will be running again.
Heck, can it run Zork? Of course it can run Zork. Zork ran on the 8080s.
That's right.
Yeah, it definitely ran on those. So of course it could run Zork.
Oh. Can it run Doom? No.
Probably not.
Not yet.
Can some hacker try to make it run on Doom? Maybe.
Doom, as it exists, requires 3.7 megabytes of memory.
Yeah.
So
this only got kilobytes of memory.
So for the bone stock version of Doom to run, you need 3.7 megabytes of memory. I do know that as a fact. Are there versions of Doom you could probably get running on this? Today, no. I bet someone's going to try, though. And I can't wait to see.
If they can get their... I mean, this is super rare. So
this is a super rare system.
If they can get their hands on it. I mean, if they get it up and running and they're like, okay, it's stable, it's cool, then they might get some people to mess with it.
By the way, later variants of the 8088, as we knew it in like 1980, 1982, those ran at 8.14 megahertz.
Yeah.
Literally more than 10 times faster.
Yeah.
Than this system runs. This is
this is 1972. This is 1972.
This is 800 kilohertz.
Yeah.
That's pretty crazy.
That's not fast at all.
It's not fast.
No, it's not fast at all. I mean, for the time, it was unheard of. Of course, it was a brilliant device for the time, but
we landed on the moon with similar technology.
Yes. Actually, less technology, I would say.
Right about the same.
Yeah, because like what 69 was like when they landed on the moon. So yeah, it's not too far after. You're right.
Yeah, the Apollo program started in 63, ended in manifested in 69 with the moon landing on June 20th.
Yeah.
I was a huge space buff in my day, but yes, very similar technology to this, like 8 kilobytes of RAM, 16 kilobytes of RAM, very similar operating space. Didn't someone make an ASCII Doom? I still doubt it would run on 800 kilohertz.
Yeah, but then the ASCII Doom is probably like recoded. It's not like a mod from the original Doom.
A lot of times they are actually mods from the original source code.
Oh, is it really? Okay.
I believe that is what has to constitute it runs Doom, is it runs at least segments of the original source code.
It's not a recoded engine that interprets the WAD some way or something like that. It's
I believe it has to interpret the WAD.
Okay, so it has to just interpret the WAD. Okay.
Correct.
All right, okay.
Yeah. That's what I would qualify, is it has to be an engine that is recognizable as Doom that interprets the WAD file.
Okay.
That's what I would consider running Doom.
Yeah.
TI-84 ran Doom and has 149 kilobytes of RAM. That's still 9 times more RAM than is on this system.
Yeah.
Like, it's an order of magnitude.
We're talking one of the original microprocessor computers.
Yeah. No, this is a crazy cool find. I'm so glad this exists. I'm so glad someone had the wherewithal to go, hey,
this looks like it might be something important.
This may be important.
Let's not just chuck this, because it was a cleaning company that found it, right? They were like cleaning the place out. It was like, oh, it's just like an old typewriter. What the hell is this? Oh, it's out of here.
Yeah.
No, they're like, no, this is important. This means something.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, let's keep it.
No, that's crazy cool. I am so glad those exist. And they belong in a museum. They really do. The TI-84 version isn't actual Doom. It's a different game from scratch. Yeah, that I was aware of. Like I said, to me, some of the things that claim to run Doom, unless you're reading the original WAD file, if you modify the WAD file and you remove the textures and you break it down that way, there's some semblance that I think can be argued there. I think it still has to interpret a WAD file. I think it still has to read Doom level data.
Yeah.
To make it onto the level of running Doom.
Because like a lot of things, like I remember the one where they had Doom running on a pregnancy test.
Yes.
Or something like that. I'm like, I doubt that had much semblance to the original code. It was probably something that resembled Doom that ran on it. I doubt you could play the game from beginning to finish on a pregnancy test. That would be insane. So, I mean, if somebody got a hold of this, I bet you they could make something that kind of resembles Doom that could probably play on it. But it probably would not be very smooth. I think it's got like an orange LED ASCII display on the thing. I think is what it had.
Yes. Yeah, it's an ASCII-only display.
Yeah.
In news that I'm disappointed, but at the same time, I don't want to say this could happen to anyone. It's unfortunate that it happened. It should never happen. Your code should never allow this. This one I kind of understand, though. Wyze, most well known for the security cameras.
Mm-hmm.
At
Very
this
popular,
point.
Yep.
They also make a lot of home automation stuff and various other things. Says that roughly 13,000 customers briefly were able to see into other people's homes.
Yeah.
Which is never a good title for a CVE.
Unless you're a peeping Tom, then you're going to like buy more Wyze cameras at the point.
Right. So what exactly happened? Wyze says that they noticed an outage on one of their AWS systems. And AWS, as part of their contract, that's Amazon Web Services, handles some caching for Wyze. What does Wyze need cached? Well, I happen to have Wyze cameras here at my house. I can actually explain this a little bit.
All right. Wait, while you do that, I'm going to go take a quick break.
Yes, go for it. So, oops. There we go. Don't forget to mute your mic. Wyze, when you open the application, you will see your cameras listed out on your phone. And each camera has a thumbnail of the last time you viewed that image, of the last time you viewed up that particular stream. Those images are cached. Basically, as I understand what happened, is Wyze noticed an issue with some of their servers. They brought the servers down. They brought the servers back up, and when the servers came back up, the caching data became confused as to what destination and individual unique identifier it should actually attach to. And so people got thumbnail images from other people's cameras. If that was where the story stopped, not great. Definitely invasion into privacy, but not necessarily something newsworthy, not overly concerning. The concerning part of this is they also wound up with alert notifications and access to recorded playbacks from other customers' devices. It was kind of a one-to-one thing, where if you have 6 Wyze cameras, you got 6 Wyze notifications from other cameras from other customers. And so what my thought is that unique identifiers were assigned to customers and individual devices and which accounts they correspond to. But then when the server rebooted, those cache numbers and whatnot were all confused. And so they just randomly reattached to whatever account made sense. Not a great security breach, but what I will say is Wyze came directly out in front of this. You're going to have issues. Any software company knows you're going to have issues. It's when you have issues, how do you respond to it? Wyze saw a potential issue, restarted those services, cut off service for potential affected customers. When the servers came back up, immediately noticed another glaring security issue of sharing thumbnails and potential notification and pre-recorded data with customers that should not be receiving that data. Immediately cut the head off the snake, emailed all customers, prior to any press releases or anything else, emailed customers and said, we noticed this with our system. We apologize that it happened, and we are working on any and all remediation steps to prevent it from happening in the future.
Very nice that they got out in front of it. Yeah.
This is how you handle security breaches.
Yeah.
Security breaches happen. If they happen all the time to you, that's a problem.
Yeah, it is. But if something happens and it's a rare and you get out in front of it and let everybody know before it gets leaked out into the press, that's much better.
What's really bad is
customers that way.
Right. What's really bad is when you bury your head in the sand for 3 months and then the press has to go, hey, about that time you leaked 300,000 customers' information to everyone else. They're like, oh yeah, that little thing. No, this was a good response. This is the response we should see from customers or from companies. I'm not going to crap on this response. I'm not even going to crap on the fact that this probably shouldn't have happened. This was, as Wyze put it, third-party caching, which they contract out with Amazon, that's one of the services that AWS offers, is caching for global rollouts. How to cache data and keep data in sync and everything else. And when the services fired back up, that data got some wires crossed.
Yeah.
Guess what? Now they're aware of that.
There's probably some software mix up too, because for caching to get mixed up with existing software means that there's some probably temp ID numbers that were probably being used that when the system started back up, it crossed over into somebody else's
As those users
data.
Logged in, they gave it a new temp ID, and then it goes, oh, you have some cache data. Here, let me feed that to you.
Here it is. Yeah, that's probably what happened right there.
Exactly what happened.
Yeah.
And so, should this issue have occurred? No. Should there have been better safeguards in place? Yes. You can't necessarily just make that blanket statement that Wyze effed up here. Wyze is now aware of that potential issue, and guess what? It'll never happen again.
Yeah.
And they got out in front of it. They alerted any and all affected customers. They offered remediation steps, and they owned it. This is how you handle security breaches. Mm-hmm. Take notes. If you are in marketing, if you are in PR, if you are a security analyst, if you are anything else, this is how you do it. Which, in recent memory, Wyze has effed up pretty bad before.
Yeah. I think they had another security breach.
Security breach and a similar thing where people had access to live views of cameras. Guess what? They didn't necessarily get in front of that one. They've learned from their mistakes.
Well, that's good.
So yeah, it was 2 or 3 years ago, I want to say, that we covered Wyze on this channel for a very similar issue, but also a completely separate issue of people were being able to see live views of cameras that weren't theirs.
Yeah.
That was not blamed on Amazon. Wyze did not get out and cover that one. They did not go, oh, that was our bad, we'll fix it right away. They had to be contacted by 8 different companies and go,
wait a second.
Yeah, right. Okay. It seems Wyze has wised up a little bit.
Living up to their namesake, I guess.
And I like to see this. I'm not going to crap on Wyze for this incident. It's an embarrassing incident. It shouldn't have happened. But at the same time, their response was exactly what I would want to see from a company that is taking ownership of it.
Yeah.
So there we go. Groan. Sorry. It's a live show. What do you want from me? God. The Nintendo Switch 2. Nintendo shares fall nearly 6% in 24 hours after a report that the Switch 2 will be delayed until 2025, missing the holiday season entirely.
Yeah, that's bad news for any, especially for game companies. Companies that, Microsoft, Sony, Nintendo especially, even developers, their big releases are Christmas time. November is usually the big release month. Even early December is pushing it because you hit that Christmas thing. But the fact that Switch 2 got delayed is, I would even say don't release it until Christmas of 2025 because you can put some more polish on it, I guess. Yeah. I don't know, but this is like no one's gonna. I didn't read what the speculation of the Switch 2. Also, first of all, before I go, Nintendo has never ever called something 2. Is it really going to be the Switch 2? It's going to be something else. They went from the Nintendo Entertainment System to the Super Nintendo Entertainment System to the Nintendo 64 to the GameCube. They never called anything 2. Are they really going to have a Switch 2 or is it going to be called something different?
Right now, Switch 2 is just the working name.
I think so.
And that's what everyone's calling it because they go, whatever the next Switch is.
Right, so they're just calling it Switch 2. So it's probably going to be something else.
When has Nintendo ever followed?
Never. They've never done that. They've never done it. So
the only kind of quasi sequel was the Nintendo Entertainment System to the Super Nintendo Entertainment System, but that was the 90s. From the 90s,
it's still not 2. It's still not 2.
We also kind of got the Wii and the Wii U, which was the poorly named Wii 2.
Yeah.
Or Switch Beta.
Yeah, basically.
Switch 2 is just kind of what everyone else is calling it. Who knows?
It's just the next Nintendo console system.
The next Nintendo console. The next generation Nintendo console.
Right. Which I would think if it was going to come out this year, that they would have had some kind of promotion for it out already. Because usually it's about a year that they start promoting their next thing. And I can't even believe it. The Switch has been out for 7 years now?
Yes.
That's mind-boggling to me.
2017, Breath of the Wild.
I know. That's crazy, right? So
that hurts a little bit on
it does
psychological level.
I still see people go, "Oh, you got a Switch, dude. That's the new one, right?" Yeah, no, I've had it for 7 years, man.
Yep.
But yeah, it's yes, they're ripe for another iteration of their console system, but the fact that they're being like, we're going to delay it a little bit. Yeah, that's going to have some ramifications, especially they're going to miss the holiday season.
Missing the next holiday season is their biggest issue.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing.
Yeah, and that's why stocks are down. Yeah. By the way, this is not financial advice. I have no incentive one way or the other to swing you anyway. I have no Nintendo stock. I don't have any stock of any kind. So, there's that. The much anticipated, thought it should have been out in 2023, thought it definitely should have been out in 2024. Nope, 2025.
Yeah.
Screw you all.
Yeah.
Sincerely, Nintendo.
It's kind of a weird thing too, because Nintendo has never been putting out, outside of the original NES, I would say, and maybe the Super Nintendo, they have never really done cutting edge technology type stuff. They've always been like, well, let's just put out something that's pretty good and most of our games will work on it. Because, to be honest, a lot of their games are not like super high demanding graphical masterpieces. They're all fun games. They've mastered the art of making cartoonish, kid-friendly, fun graphical interfaces and made them fun. So they don't really necessarily need the highest of high, graphics cards or technological things to make it work.
Yep.
So the fact that they are holding back for a year or for even longer kind of makes me think, what do they even have in store? What's the holdup? What's going on?
I will say, based on what I've seen from AMD and Intel, and even NVIDIA in the entry-level space, I'm not that impressed from 2023 to 2024. 2023, we got the 7840U, which was 70% faster in some circumstances than the 6800U. 680M versus 780M graphics. What do we have in store for 2024? We have the 8840U or the 8845U, which is the exact same graphics processor at the exact same power level. It's not even iteratively better. It's a different model number for a different year. What do we have from Intel? We have Meteor Lake coming out. That's never going to make it into a console, and it's 2/3 as fast as AMD's solution anyway. Yeah. What do we have from NVIDIA in the low power space? Nothing, because we make our money in AI now.
Yeah, they do, yeah.
So I think this is probably simply
You think it's a third-party thing?
I think this is a third-party thing.
Ooh, okay.
They've got to get their graphics power from somewhere.
Yeah, and it has to be a substantial upgrade to make people.
They're not going back to IBM and Power 9.
Yeah.
So that's not going to happen. Is it going to be 8700 APU? You have to fit in the envelope of a 10-watt mobile processor if they're going to make it handheld again. It's got to get good battery life. It's got to be sustainable. Yeah. It's got to be affordable, and an 8700 APU will not be affordable.
Yeah, that would be interesting if they went from the form factor of the Switch, which is a portable / dockable system, to something completely different.
To something back to console.
Yeah, to something back to that'd be really weird for them to do that. So, yeah.
Yeah. We go, the 8700U, even the 7840U. Find a device with the 7840U in it that's less than $650.
Yeah,
it doesn't exist.
It won't work. Yeah, so yeah, this could be like a delay because of external factors, not necessarily from Nintendo themselves.
Yeah. So if you want to know what the best $300 purchase you can make today for gaming is, it's a Steam Deck.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. That's what I've been looking at.
I've got devices. I'll sell you a better one for the same price.
Oh, okay, I know. It's just like, okay, because it's not going to be me that's going to be using it. It's going to be my son, and I don't know if I want to. I don't know if I want to get him into that. he's already obsessed enough as it is.
Yeah.
And I'm like, is there one more thing I need to like monitor his usage on?
Right.
I would use it, but here's the thing: is I would also use it myself.
Yeah,
I would also be using it too. So at least, I mean, it's like, but then I have to fight my son first. Like, now give it back to me, kid. Yeah. I'm playing this now.
Couple more super chats, and then we got, I think, one more story that we'll cover. LK sends over 10 Aussie bucks. Thank you very much. Hello, I would love to hear how you teach your kids about the internet. More importantly, do you have any controls configured on your network to help with this? I have done a full video on NX Filter, which is a network-based, DNS-based filter service that you can run on your home PC. Runs very much like Raspberry Pi for blocking ads, but you can set it for content blocking. And it's community-generated lists or content-aware lists. And it works very well. I do have NX Filter running on both my internet connection here. We only pass my kids' devices through it. And it prevents them from going to various websites and you know, getting on things that they shouldn't get onto at their ages. They don't have computers in their room. They do have tablets, but the tablets are upstairs in the dining room or the living room.
Yep.
You know, my oldest daughter does have a phone. It's very closely monitored. We have Google, parental services enabled on that. where at any given time, me and my wife can check on the history of the use of the phone, what applications were opened, what websites were visited, how long they spent on the website, what videos they watched. Very easy. And so that's kind of how I deal with that. We're not the kind of parents that are gonna be draconian in the, you can't look, we live in the world. She goes to school and she hears things 10 times worse than she would ever hear at home. I get it. I was one of those kids, okay? In private company, I swear worse than all of you guys combined. Guaranteed. My public facing persona, I don't swear all that much. I hardly ever swear in videos.
Is there a way to block all skibbity toilet videos?
Right. But you know, we don't necessarily want them exposed to anything and everything either. And so you take some safeguards. More than anything, open communication with your kids. You ever have a question? Ask me. You ever, talk to your kids like they're human, because they are.
I do that actually with my son every night. I say, hey, buddy, do you got a question for me? Ask me a question. I'll answer whatever you want to tell me. Every night I ask him this. And usually sometimes he has something profound, sometimes it's silly. But you'd be surprised when you just ask him.
Yeah.
And treat them like an adult.
Yeah.
And I'm not a big fan of infantilizing your own kids.
No.
Because then they'll act like infants. You treat them like adults, the quicker they'll stop acting like adults.
I have always met my kids halfway. And what I mean by that is I've never treated them like they were kids from a conversational level.
Yes.
If I need to discipline them, if I need to explain something, if I need to correct them, I go, hey, that really wasn't okay. Here's why it's not okay.
Right. Absolutely. Explanation.
This is the expectation I have for you. Yeah. Do you understand what I'm saying? Okay, cool. Do you have any questions? Okay, cool.
Yeah. And exactly.
Guess what? Now they learned. They have my respect for explaining it to them, not just saying because I'm the adult and I said so.
Right, exactly. And of course, and if you do it that way, they're more apt to be like, hey, look, something happened, or if you say, hey, did this happen? They'll be more apt to say, this. They're not going to hide anything from you.
Right.
Yeah.
My kids have shared some things that I wish I was aware of at their age.
Yeah. No, I have.
That they've asked questions and like I said, I treat them conversationally, and I treat them as I would any other person with thoughts and ideas of their own, because guess what? They are.
And here's the thing. Kids are information sponges. If you sit there and talk to them like an adult, they will absorb that, and they will pretty soon their vocabulary will explode. They'll have they'll talk like an adult, and people just be like, wow, look at that kid.
Denver sends over $5. Nintendo Swatch, pick your color palette. Nintendo Switch, Nintendo Swatch. I don't know.
They say it's Nintendo Switch.
Pick your color palette. I have a Nintendo Switch that I put a CNC aluminum case on. Shell replacement, 100% CNC aluminum. It's freaking gorgeous. That's my color palette, is bare metal CNC'd aluminum.
He's also asking about custom engravings, which we talked about just a little bit before the show started.
If you have an idea for a custom engraving that you would like, email me at merch@craftcomputing.net. It is the contact info for the craftcomputing.store site. Merch@craftcomputing.net. We take custom orders. I can send custom quotes. If you have merch ideas, if you want customizations, let us know. I've done custom whiskey stones for a 40th birthday. I've done names on glassware. I've done a couple of other weird things. So yes, let me know. Like I said, and I'm looking at starting to carry some customizable items as well. like I said, I just did 20.8 millimeter metal business cards for a colleague of mine who goes, I want something heavy and weighty to give to clients. And I went, here you go.
There you go. Yeah.
So yeah, merch at craftcomputing.net. That's the easiest way to get in touch with us. Last but not least, Circuit Rewind. I hope you are paying attention to this. Modder releases Unix-like operating system for the NES.
That's crazy. This is like, let's bring back something else to the NES.
This is so cool.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Source code available on GitHub.
I know. NES doesn't even have any type of networking system or anything like that. So this is just kind of like for the funsies, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Literally just for the lulz. Yeah. You can download and run your own version of Unix, of a Unix-like OS on the NES. There you go. Go download it. GitHub.com.
I think, because I watched the video a little bit, you do have to have your own custom interface into to plug into the NES, right?
Yeah, you do have to have a keyboard adapter,
right?
That will be serial pin compatible with the NES control outputs. Correct.
Yes. So, but it works. It's pretty cool. It's very limited in what you can do with it, but the fact that you can do it is pretty neat. I await the next Atari 2600 Unix-like operating system.
Yes.
That you can just like plug into there. But you have to use the paddles to type things in.
Yep. Cool. Thank you for calling it Unix-like and not Linux. Everyone else calls it like everyone else calls it. Number one, I can read. And number two, I understand that Unix is the root in this particular case.
Yes, it is.
It's not running true Linux. It's not running a Linux kernel. I do understand the difference.
Yes.
It's a Unix-like operating system. It is a unique operating system that is loosely based on Unix.
Yeah. So they put this in here on the Nintendo Entertainment System so they can retcon the line in Jurassic Park where the girl says, this is a Unix system. I know this because she had it on the Nintendo.
Yes.
That's the only way that makes sense.
Right. It's a Unix system.
I know
this. Fun fact, that was a real file system and real graphical file organizer.
Was it on a Unix system, really?
It was, yeah.
It was a
Unix-based file organizing system. It was a graphically based organizing system that based it into blocks and towers.
It looked woefully inefficient.
It looked woefully inefficient. It looked like 100% Hollywood. It was 100% a real system.
It must have been like a farce, though. I mean, I can't imagine that any real like IT person would adopt it for their actual file system.
The 80s were a hell of a drug, man.
No, I understand that. We had Tron. I watched Tron. I love Tron, but nothing in there made sense, man.
We had Tron, and you questioned the reality of that file system?
Oh, but okay. There's nothing practical in Tron either. I mean, except for the type that you were typing on keyboards. That was it.
Right.
I mean, like they actually had
some
rudimentary. Oh, dude, I love that glowy spandex.
Anyway, it is 20 minutes past the hour. I think that's well past time to call it a show. This has been episode 322. Talking Heads here on Craft Computing. Join us every Wednesday night at 6 p.m. Pacific time for the latest in beer and tech news. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Drop this video a like. Leave me a comment. Let me know what was your favorite part of the show or anything else that is applicable, fun, mentionable, whatever else. Gosh, what else is there? Visit craftcomputing.store. Get yourself a pint glass, coaster, soon to be an HTTP code wallet.
There you go. Definitely get one of those.
I think on
this Friday. This Friday.
On Friday, I'm going to go live with these. I got a couple more things to figure out, but yes. Anyway, that's going to do it. As always, we'll see you next week.